Good evening and welcome to another episode of a Migrant's Journey. This is episode number 37. Yes, we have had 36 episodes so far. Uh, Head on to my YouTube channel where I have a playlist for all these 36 channels where you can binge. That's almost 18 hours worth of content. If you're new here and if you're watching this for the first time, a migrant's journey is set up to share migrant stories over here. When you think about migration, you think, hey, it's a dream come true. Everything is good, and it's a rosy picture. But usually, that's not the case. The initial struggles are real, and it primarily happens due to difference in culture, expectations, and things like that. So my intention is to give you a raw picture of how it is when a migrant comes over here and share different stories based on that. If you're watching this live on LinkedIn or on YouTube, please leave a comment, say hi, hello, good evening, or if you have any questions, leave a question for me or for us. And the reason I ask you to do that is the more noise you make, the more LinkedIn and YouTube will spread the word, and more people get benefited out of this. And in the end, the happier it makes me as well. So today I have a special guest with me. The reason I'm saying it's special is the guest is Yashdeep, by the way. Yashdeep traveled to Melbourne during the pandemic. He caught a special flight and he landed in Melbourne. He did his quarantine and then he found a job in New South Wales. Again, traveled on a chartered flight, if I'm right, which we'll hear from him right away, and quarantined and got a job in the manufacturing industry. Now there are tons of challenges here. Pandemic months, people say there are no job, especially in manufacturing and non-IT related roles. People say there are no jobs, but let's hear how Yashdeep cracked the market here. Yashdeep, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Hello everyone, I'm good and thank you Vinesh for inviting me to this Migrant Journey channel. I mean one of the first viewers of this channel and it feels really like a privilege to be here. Thank you.
No worries at all. I'm so happy you're here today, Yashdeep. So let's get
Yeah,
straight into things. Who are you, Yashdeep, and what do you do?
I'm a manufacturing engineer by profession. In India, I have a work experience of almost 12 years and I moved here to Australia in June and recently found a job in New South Wales in absolutely my own domain, that is manufacturing. And right now it's third weekend and I'm really excited.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Yashdeep. Now,
Yeah,
yours is a very different journey. So let's pick the bits, dissect it bit by bit. You
yeah,
knew that you are moving to Australia during the pandemic
yeah.
situation and things will be hard. So what sort of preparation did you do before arriving here? I mean, it's different because you knew it would be challenging and you knew it
Yeah,
would be hard. So what preparations did you do before arriving in Australia?
actually, I mean, it was a kind of a roller coaster ride coming to Australia because absolutely when my plan was to come to Australia, almost a week before my flight got cancelled in March.
Oh,
So I was stuck in India, so and without job, and pandemic all over the world. I'm in very tricky situation, you can say.
yep.
But what I decided that let's go with the plan. Let's not deviate ourselves. So what I could do is that I mean uh, I planned that it may be weeks or maybe months. I didn't know that when I
Mhm.
would be able to travel to Australia. So I started my background, you can say preparation back in India only, and that's when I was introduced to you by a friend of mine who is already in Australia. So
Mhm.
we met through one of your meetups, and I started joining all of them, weekly meetups and monthly meetups. So what I did in those months was to get a feel of Australian industry, not only manufacturing industry, but overall what the jobs are like, what is the employment industry like in India. And we all know it's pretty much uh, different from India. So I
Yep.
wanted to prepare myself. So I try to put all my efforts into that direction, and I think it has paid me well.
Awesome. So, just a curious question that a lot of migrants ask. Did you apply for any roles when you were in India, and did you get any response at all?
I did actually. I mean, you can say. everyone said that it's not possible, but you say, I tried my best. So I
Yeah.
also tried some of the roles, but I hardly had any luck, and I didn't even got any response, any decline, nothing. There was no
Yeah.
response.
Yeah.
So actually, so then I thought that I must channelize my all the energy towards preparation. So
Mm.
whenever, when you actually turn into a job search mode, you kind of deviate from preparing yourself. So
Yeah.
I took a step back. So let's stop the job search now and do the preparation thing. So there were jobs that I applied. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like that you took that step back and preparing yourself,
Yeah,
because people really get lost. They just apply, apply, apply. I have to apply for all these
yeah.
roles. I have to do this. I have to do that.
No,
But
I think I am the only person who ever applied least jobs. In India, I only applied for I think 3 jobs, and after reaching in Australia in I think 2 months, I only applied for 10 jobs, nothing more.
awesome, awesome. So let's again. Yours is a very unique journey. So how was
Yeah.
that flight here to Melbourne, and how was your initial days? I mean, it was in
Uh,
quarantine, you couldn't do much, but how was it? How was the experience?
that's the same story. I continued my journey. Actually, I celebrated my small wins. So for that, like I was stuck in India at home, not able to do anything. To move to Australia. So finally, I got a flight. I was happy. So at least we are moving in one direction. So at least
Yeah,
we are getting a small step done. So I was in, quarantine, but all the things which I did in India, I kind of continued my preparation and kind of, fast tracked that because I met some of the people online, some of the recruiters, but I did not contacted them while I was in India because I didn't wanted to, you can say spoil that relationship while
yeah,
calling them from India. So they must think the guy is in India. Why is he calling us? So
yeah.
I had a list with me. So these are the person I need to contact. So I started contacting them the day I landed here in Australia. So that I'm here. Yeah.
Awesome. So that was awesome preparation. By the way, just a
Yeah.
reminder, we have about 10 people watching in LinkedIn right now, but I'm not hearing any noise. Say hi, hello, good evening, just to, spruce up the video and get more attention. Thanks for that. And thanks for watching live, definitely. Now, coming back to you, Yashdeep. So, how did your job search during this pandemic situation? You were in Melbourne, you couldn't go out,
Yeah.
you could do
No.
nothing, and you're in a manufacturing industry where people say, there's nothing
Yeah.
happening at all during this time. So, what on
All,
a day-to-day basis, what did
yeah.
you do, and how did you find success?
All the odds were kind of against my plan, but there was no turning back. I'm here, so there is nothing to, think that, yeah, there is a problem, manufacturing industry is struggling, there are no jobs. There is no use in, thinking anything like that. So I try to put all my energy into searching all the jobs which I could find. And my strategy was I only applied for the jobs which absolutely match with my job role. Not absolutely, we can say, but more than at least 85%. And I did a lot of effort in applying for jobs. Applying for a job was a day's work for me. I put
Hmm.
into at least 5 to 6 hours of my effort whenever I applied one job.
Hmm.
And I applied, almost 10 jobs, and none of them actually got succeeded. I got declined of 8 of them. Two for them I was awaiting the reply. But suddenly, out of the blue, one thing happened. I got a message from the company which I am working in. Uh, the CEO of the company messaged me. He told me that he liked my profile and they have some business and they can really use a person like me. And I never applied for this job. It was all due to my LinkedIn profile. He contacted me
So,
out of
so
blue software.
you did not message him, you were not connected, nothing. He
No,
just
no,
he just oh, that's
yeah,
good. So credit to your LinkedIn profile then. And which, by
yeah,
the way, I really liked your LinkedIn profile. I think in one of the sessions in JLB, I actually highlighted that your LinkedIn profile is
yeah.
really good. So kudos to that.
You
Yeah.
highlighted only picture was bad and I changed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, the profile was not built in a day, I can say. I have
Hmm.
modified it. I think more than 100 times. And if I read my profile right now, I might change one line.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So they called me. We got into some discussions, and I mean, it wasn't as everyone. I mean, these things are supposed to happen. There was no even a video call. It was just a phone call, three people over the phone, and with me, it was just a 30-minute call. And next morning, there was the offer in my mailbox. That's it.
Really? That's very interesting. So it was a phone
Yeah,
call, three people,
yeah,
30 minutes. So
yeah.
what sort of interview was it? Was it very technical or was it what sort of
It
interview
it
was it?
it wasn't at all technical. It was all, I mean, behavioral stuff. I mean some questions related to my engineering and my experience, what I've done. It was all mentioned very briefly in my profile. So I mean, my profile got them curious, and they asked me few of the questions based on relevant to their industry. So I told them what I have done and what are my achievements, and based on that, I think they took a decision.
Very interesting story. Hard to believe, but really interesting story. Now, you still had a challenge of getting from Melbourne to New South Wales. How
Yeah,
did that happen?
yeah. Actually, you see, I believe in one quote because that says when you are having problems you haven't had in the past, so that means you are leveled up, like in video game, right?
Yeah.
So the next problem was actually I had a 190 visa,
Hmm.
and that was sponsored by Victoria. So I
Oh, so
that was
that's
the
another
reason I,
challenge.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a challenge. I never applied because of that. I never applied for any job out of Victoria. So but I got the opportunity. So I said, yeah, yeah, let's do this. Let's find a way out. So I contacted my migration agent in India. So he told me, yeah, there is a way you can contact the, live in Melbourne authority and write a mail to them, explain your issue, and there is a COVID everywhere. Jobs are lost everywhere. I wrote to them that I am finally getting an offer. If you allow me, I can accept that offer, and I really want to. But if you really allow me to do, I don't want to break any rules. So the next day, they reply to me, yeah, that's fine. We understand your situation. Please feel free to move and accept the offer, and we eventually expect you to back move back to Victoria anytime you want.
That's that's crazy, Steve. I mean, you're in a pandemic situation. You can't get out of Melbourne. You are in a Victoria sponsored visa. You're in the manufacturing
Yeah,
industry. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's like just like you said, everything came
It's a
together
dream
and
come
things.
true.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so happy for you, and it worked out well, right?
And that wasn't that wasn't the last challenge. The next challenge was getting to New South Wales because New
Yeah.
South Wales people didn't want any Victorians in their place.
Yeah. So how did that happen? How did you manage to
So
get into a flight?
yeah, actually the flights were very rare, and after I sent an email for I accepted my offer. The the next day I heard an announcement over TV that all the flights to from Victoria to New South Wales are diverted to Sydney, and there will be no any other flight to any other places in New South Wales. So I said, so let's take this up now. So I tried there was a direct flight from Melbourne to Orange here. There is a airport here. So I contacted the flight corporate authority. So I said that I want to get to Orange and there is a flight, but I don't know that that flight will go through or not. So they said if flight is online, if you can book the flight, so there are high chances that it will go through. But the situation is very volatile. We cannot commit anything.
Mhm.
So I got in touch with my employer here. They told me that you can go ahead and book the flight. Let's see what happens. So and I was at the airport, and surprisingly, I was the only person on the plane.
Awesome. It's a very
Yeah,
adventurous journey, yes, Steve, and
yeah.
I'm really happy that it all worked out in the end. So now you've been in my meetups multiple times. You have been in the JLB
Yeah,
community a lot of times.
yeah,
What is your advice to job seekers out there? Especially it is tough times that we are going through with the pandemic and everything. So, what is your advice to job seekers, especially migrants who are coming from Asian countries? What
yeah.
should they do right? I mean, you invested a lot on preparation, so that itself is a good lesson, right? So, what is your advice to all of them?
My advice is make a plan and focus on all the things which are in your control. COVID is not in our control. Availability of jobs is not in our control. So I never focus on that. I never focus on number of cases, number of jobs which are coming, which are going. I never focus on them. I only focus on me getting myself ready. If I get an offer, am I ready or not? That's it.
Yeah, awesome.
That
That
was
that's
that that was one part. That was one part, and there is a plenty of content online. There are many successful migrants. So I think over 30 episodes are already happened before me. So those people already have their challenges. And what my I mean, only one advice is that make the plan as it must suit you. I mean, never copy anyone's advice. And I am really saying to all the viewers, if you don't like my plan, I mean, there's no worries. I mean, make the plan which can suit yourself, right? Which you are comfortable with, and follow that plan. That's it.
excellent point. Yes, Steve. Thanks for sharing that. Now,
Yeah,
you were quite active on LinkedIn, so I just wanted to
yeah,
ask a couple of points on that. Right? Coming from India, where LinkedIn is not used much
yeah.
at all. So, what were the steps that you took, or what are the small things that you did on LinkedIn, which in the end got you the job eventually? But so just trying to pick your brains and saying, what are the right things that you did on LinkedIn?
I had only 6 connections when I was planning to come to Australia on LinkedIn, and I
Mm,
haven't that profile for almost 2 years. So that was a dead profile, absolutely dead. And
yeah,
one day I opened it and let's start changing it. And the profile I have right now, I can't say it's the best profile, but I have invested a lot on that, a lot in that. I mean, I've been through profiles of influencers, worldwide influencers, who have millions and millions of followers. So what do they write in their profile? How they
mm,
express themselves, and what is relevant and what is not relevant. I mean, you can write too much stuff about yourself, which is difficult to read. I mean, we all know that what is the amount of time it's in. I mean, 5 to 6 seconds any person gets. Either it's the profile or the resume. So, I mean, first lines and your punchline and I mean your title, is it really that I mean captivating to keep the person I mean reading on? And finally, I mean actually looking at complete of your profile till the end. And there is no use if we have a profile. I mean, we have a very good experience, we have a good everything, certifications are there, but profile doesn't look good. A person will look at it, 4 or 5 seconds, he won't find anything interesting. Let's see, he'll move on to next one.
yeah, excellent. So there
Yeah,
you go, the importance of LinkedIn profile. From this is a perfect story of how
yeah,
LinkedIn can get you a
yeah.
job, right? So thank you so much for sharing that, Yasti.
And the thing is, we should be prepared in every arena. Is it resume? Is it cover letter? Is it video interview? Is it LinkedIn profile? Everywhere. I mean, no one can imagine from which door the opportunity will come. If we are only investing only our time on resumes, I mean, maybe I wouldn't have this job right now.
Absolutely. So we have some nice comments. So I just wanted to share it with you. So Sandeep saying that's so cool. Everything worked for you because you were committed. Kudos, Yashdeep. Another one from Reshma. Your story is like a dream, Yashdeep. Superb. So happy for you. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Paro
thank
is,
you, everyone.
Paro is saying this story is literally a fairy tale. I'm so happy for you, Steve, and your attitude is inspiring. And Manu saying, congratulations, your journey is definitely a roller coaster ride and truly inspiring story. So
Thank you,
everyone
everyone.
is
Thank you.
inspired by the story. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, Steve. And I'm so
Yeah,
happy that things worked out for you against all odds. Again, I'm repeating the challenges: manufacturing industry, COVID situation,
two
Victoria
quarantines.
sponsored visa, two quarantines. the line goes on, and still
List
if
list is really long.
yeah, so still if people can find a job,
Yeah,
please don't give
you
up.
can.
Job seekers, don't give up, right? There will be obstacles, there will be challenges. Don't run away from it. Face it, jump over it, and get to your destination, right? Yes, I
Move
understand
on to
things are
next
tough,
one.
the market is tough. Yeah, the market is tough, but there things will work out for you.
Yeah.
It will work out. So thank you so much, Yashdeep. If people would like to reach to you, would LinkedIn be the best
Yeah,
place?
LinkedIn is the best, I mean, platform, and I'm often active on that, but not for recent 3 weeks because it's a new job. I was quite busy on that, but
Yeah.
my plan is to be active on LinkedIn in the future.
All right.
And my sincere thanks to Vinesh. I mean, in this whole journey of mine, there is a special place of your content and your motivation to the job seekers. I mean, only after attending your meetups, I mean, my brain kind of opened in 360 degrees that what is the importance and what are the different areas we need to work upon. It was only after that.
Um,
If I wouldn't have, I mean, attended any of your meetups, I don't think I mean, I could find a simple to follow way.
Thank you so much for sharing
Yeah,
that, Yashdeep. It really means a lot, and I'm happy that I actually opened up your mind to think what you
yeah,
can do
yeah.
and things. This is a big win for me as well. So thank you for sharing that, Yashdeep. Is there anything else you'd like to share, or we conclude the session?
Nah, nothing. I'm
All right.
fine. I mean, if anyone would like to know anything, yeah, and is there anything if I can help you with, feel free to contact me. I'm more than it will be my pleasure to help you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Yashdeep. So this was
Thank
an
you.
excellent session. I hope everyone had huge value out of it. If you have any questions for me, please leave a comment on YouTube or LinkedIn and share it to people. I know this is it's a very inspiring story. Share it to people and let it be helpful for everyone. I have another episode coming up tomorrow evening, same time around 6 p.m. So I'll see you all tomorrow again. Otherwise, have a good evening and bye bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.